Welcome back to Whispers of the Moon, where the shadows hold secrets and every whisper tells a story. Tonight, we're venturing into the heart of the Midwest, a land of vast plains, dense forests, and chilling tales that will make your skin crawl. These are three terrifying urban legends you won't soon forget. So, grab a blanket, dim the lights, and let's dive in. First story.
The Legend of Resurrection Mary. This tale, steeped in mystery and shrouded in eerie whispers, has captivated the imaginations of many. Our first story takes us to Illinois, where a quiet stretch of road hides a ghostly secret. Along Archer Avenue, near the infamous Resurrection Cemetery, drivers tell of a chilling encounter with a woman known as Resurrection Mary. The legend of Resurrection Mary dates back to the 1930s. Mary was a young woman with a love for dancing. On the night of her death, she attended a lively evening at the Willowbrook Ballroom, where she spent hours twirling under the glittering lights. But as the evening ended, tragedy struck. Accounts differ on how she met her demise, but most agree she was hit by a car while walking along Archer Avenue. Since then, she has been seen by countless drivers, always dressed in white. She asks for a ride, her voice soft and melancholy. The destination she gives is always the same, Resurrection Cemetery. But as the car nears the gates, she disappears, leaving drivers shaken and chilled to the bone. There have been numerous accounts over the decades. In 1979, a cab driver swore he picked up a woman outside a lounge on Archer Avenue. He described her as quiet, with an almost otherworldly presence. When he arrived at the cemetery, she vanished before his eyes. Another account from the 1980s tells of a man who danced with Mary at a club. When he offered to take her home, she gave him the address of Resurrection Cemetery. He thought she was kidding, but they got in the car and headed there anyway. As he pulled up to the cemetery, he looked over to the passenger seat and she was gone. The woman sitting next to him had vanished. In 2002, a couple driving late at night reported a young woman walking along the roadside. When they stopped to offer help, she refused to speak, but pointed toward the cemetery. As they drove closer, the woman began to cry softly. But just as they neared the gates, she vanished, leaving the couple frozen in fear. In another eerie encounter from 2015, a man driving alone on Archer Avenue claimed to see a figure standing in the middle of the road. He braked suddenly, only to watch in disbelief as the woman walked straight through his car and disappeared into the night. Shaken, he later described her as wearing a white dress and having an expression of profound sadness. The origins of Mary's story are shrouded in mystery. Some believe she's the spirit of a real woman buried in Resurrection Cemetery, while others think she's a manifestation of collective grief tied to tragic accidents on the road. Is Mary a restless spirit searching for peace, or merely a product of urban folklore? Whatever the truth, the legend of Resurrection Mary continues to haunt Archer Avenue, drawing curious thrill-seekers and skeptics alike. Perhaps her story serves as a reminder that some roads lead not to destinations but to the unknown.
Second story.
Now we head to Michigan, where the wilderness hides a creature straight out of a nightmare known as the Michigan Dogman. This 7-foot-tall beast is said to have the body of a man and the head of a dog. The first recorded sighting happened in Wexford County in 1887. Two lumberjacks reported seeing a terrifying creature with the posture of a man but the face and fur of a dog. Since then, sightings have cropped up across the state, often in dense forests or isolated rural areas. Witnesses describe the dogman's howl as unlike anything they've ever heard. A mix between a wolf's cry and a human scream. Some say it's a warning to stay away, while others believe it's the prelude to an attack. Some speculate that the Dogman may have roots in Native American folklore, with stories of shapeshifters who could take on animal forms to protect sacred lands. The modern legend exploded in 1987 when a DJ named Steve Cook created a song called The Legend, based on supposed encounters. To his surprise, listeners began calling in, sharing eerie experiences of their own. One chilling account from 1997 describes a family driving through the Manistee National Forest. They claimed to see a massive, dog-like figure sprinting across the road. The father described its movement as unnatural, almost like it was gliding rather than running. In 2001, a hiker in Sheboygan County reported being followed for miles by what he first thought was a large dog. But when the creature stood on two legs and emitted a guttural growl, he ran, swearing he could hear it pacing him just out of sight. Another eerie tale comes from 2010, when a couple camping near the shores of Lake Superior reported hearing low growls outside their tent late at night. When the man stepped out to investigate, he saw what he thought was a bear. But as the creature stood upright, its glowing eyes locked onto his, and it let out a piercing howl. The couple packed up immediately and drove away, too afraid to stay until morning. The Dogman legend may also have ties to settler fears of the untamed wilderness, embodying the anxiety of living on the edge of civilization. While skeptics dismiss it as a case of misidentified wildlife or overactive imaginations, believers are convinced that something otherworldly prowls the Michigan woods. Real or imagined, the Dogman continues to be a symbol of the unknown lurking in Michigan's wild landscapes. If you find yourself in the woods at night and hear a howl that doesn't quite sound right, it's best to head back to safety. After all, the Dogman is a reminder that sometimes the wild still holds mysteries we may never understand.
Final story.
Finally, we journey to Ohio, where an unassuming bridge harbors a terrifying tale. This is the story of the Bunny Man, a sinister figure who's said to haunt the woods near what locals call Crybaby Bridge. The Bunny Man legend began in the early 1900s, with rumors of an escaped asylum patient who took refuge in the woods. The story goes that he was deeply disturbed, mutilating animals and leaving their carcasses hanging from trees near the bridge. Over time, the legend grew darker, with tales of the Bunny Man attacking anyone who ventured too close. In 1970, a chilling real-life event added credibility to the legend. A couple driving near the bridge reported a man in a bunny costume throwing a hatchet at their car. Although they escaped unharmed, the incident left authorities baffled. Since then, others have claimed to see a man in a tattered bunny suit roaming the woods, often wielding a weapon. In 1985, a group of friends camping near the bridge reported waking to find crude, bunny-shaped symbols carved into nearby trees. One of them claimed to see a man watching them from the shadows, clutching what looked like a hatchet. One chilling account from 1992 describes a woman who found rabbit pelts hanging from the bridge, each one tied with twine. She swore she saw a man watching her from the tree line, his head tilting like a predator sizing up its prey. In 2018, a paranormal investigator visiting the bridge reported hearing faint, high-pitched laughter echoing in the woods late at night. As they approached the bridge, they found a small pile of freshly broken sticks arranged in the shape of a rabbit. The investigator described seeing a shadowy figure watching from the edge of the tree line, its form slightly hunched, before it melted into the darkness. Some believe the Bunny Man's origins may be rooted in local folklore about madness and isolation, while others think he represents a blend of urban fear and separation. Regardless of where the truth lies, the Bunny Man legend serves as a chilling reminder of how the darkest corners of human imagination can create figures that haunt our collective psyche. Perhaps the Bunny Man is more than just a story. Perhaps he's a manifestation of the fears we dare not name. So, if you find yourself near Crybaby Bridge on a quiet night, tread carefully. You never know who or what might be watching from the shadows.
And there you have it. 3 chilling tales from the heart of the Midwest. From ghostly apparitions and howls in the woods to shadowy figures with hatchets. These legends remind us of the mysteries that linger just out of sight. Whether you believe in these stories or think they're just products of overactive imaginations, one thing is certain: they continue to captivate and terrify those who dare to explore them. Remember, the next time you find yourself driving down a dark road, hiking through the woods, or standing under the ominous arch of a bridge, keep your eyes and ears open. The Midwest is filled with whispers of the unknown, waiting for those brave enough to listen.